Welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. We are doing a guide today on Melga SteelGirdle, this little dwarf down here. Let's get right into it. She can do so much. This is the best build you could ever do for this champion because she will revive your allies. She will heal them and shield them. She will even shield them when she revives them. So if you go fight the Scarab King, she's amazing for it. We've got Garush in here. This is hard level 50, I think. This is the highest we can do right now on hard Doom Tower. So right now we're jumping forward. Here we are at the very end of this 24-minute run. Okay, but we did it on full auto, and I guarantee you we're going to be able to do this when we go to the hardest Scarab King. Now when we go to Scarab King on floor 120, when it rotates sometime later on, when the whole tower rotates, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how hard it's going to be then. This is on 50 right now. There we are. So we have Veteran here. Now on the other run, Garush did not die at all. On this run, Veteran died about 35 times. But it's okay. We have Melga here. And she's in a regen set and an immortal set. Regen is so underrated. It's so good. You got to put regen sets on all your healers, all your revivers, especially if they can do both. If they can heal and revive, put them on there and they will never die. But you do need resistance. So we're going to get resistance for her of 300. I know it sounds like a lot, and if you're not in game, you don't need to worry about that 300 resistance. But if you are in game, 300 resistance means that we can go into the Ice Golem. We can go into everywhere else. 2-man Sorath the Frost Spider on 120 hard. This is 2-manning it. We only use Dark Elhain to get us DPS through the waves, but all we're doing is beating the spider. If you saw my video when we did this, Doom Tower hard 120, and she's in the same gear right now that she's always been in because she cannot die. She just cannot die. 300 resistance if you can get there. If you're not there in the game, if you're not at stage 20 of everything, if you're not going through Doom Tower hard, don't worry about the 300 resistance. Get her in a regen set. Just get her in there, get her HP up. I'll show you the stats at the end. This is Faction Wars 21. So we're going through here with some level 50 dwarves, rare, rare, rare. We've got an epic, and then we've got Melga, the other epic in here. And of course, Gala Longbraids is doing our DPS. She's right here. Now I did do it on manual because I wanted to make sure we could 3-star this and have everybody alive at the end. I went through a few runs with this, and we would beat it, no problem, but there might be like one person dead at the very end when we completed it. And to have a 3-star, we have to have everyone alive at the end of this. So I was doing a little manual here just to make sure we kept everyone alive, to make sure Melga was ready with her shield right when we zoned in, and then we're good to go. It's not going to take that long to beat. It's really not going to. Yes, you have a decently geared Gala Longbraid. She's not crazy geared. She's decent, but Melga is not going to die. She's going to bring you the shield. She's going to bring you that regen, and then she's going to revive as well. Let's see her pick up these people. That rare that I brought in here at 50, that little dwarf you just saw run across the screen right there, he did nothing this whole entire run for us. Pretty much hot garbage. I thought he's going to do the ally protect of 25%, and I thought that ally protect would kind of help us at this wave, and it should in theory, but it really wasn't doing much for us, as you can see here. And now he's getting beat on. So you want high HP. Melga, think about this. All your revivers, you want them in high HP. Don't worry about that. If they get hit, they'll regen it. They're going to get hit by the AoE stuff, right? But they're going to regen that life back every single turn. Even if they're frozen, when they take a turn, they're still going to get that heal. If they're stunned, it really doesn't matter. They're always going to get that heal. Here we go. What's he got? Nothing. Again, this dwarf was terrible. Get out of here. We're going to bring him back to life. Okay, he's got the 30% HP shield on him. And then she on her A2, that was just her A3. It's always ready to revive somebody. Let's go and really test her out. Let's bring in a really fragile team and see how she does going through something like Ice Golem. But here is everything that you would use her in, right? She's a dwarf. You'd use her in Faction Wars 21. Use her in Doom Tower hard. Use her in waves in Doom Tower if you need to. Now we're going to bring in a very fragile team. People that are going to fall over and die, right? High DPSers, but attack base. So when they get hit, they're going to die. We're going to see some people die. Again, 300 resistance if you can. If you want to use her in Spider 20, the regular Spider dungeon. If you want to use her here, anywhere, I don't care where it is. If you can get close to 300 resistance, because that's all she needs. She needs no accuracy. We just need a regen set. We need HP gloves, HP chest, speed boots. Put a resistance banner on. Resistance from your Great Hall a little bit, resistance from some substats, and then resistance from your masteries. And we're not even talking about crazy gear anymore. We're getting 50 from resistance from masteries. We're getting a banner of 96, I want to say it is. And then if your Great Hall is just a little bit into resistance, you don't have to be maxed out. We're already there. We're close to getting to 300. We're not there. We're close. We get substats. We go with the 2-piece resistance if you want to. We can get there. And then once you have her like that, look at her. Mine is already at 300 resistance, but she does have a 2-piece immortal set. So she's getting a little bit more heals than yours might. Look at that. She's getting that 12,000 something along with the 2485 there you saw. But we need that resistance because now when we come up against this boss, if you saw the beginning fight with the Scarab King, you got to have 300 resistance so he doesn't steal from you. So he doesn't remove your debuff. So make sure you've got that resistance on everybody when you fight the Scarab King. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my Scarab King videos. You got to have that resistance because if you have a shield on, he can remove. If you don't have a shield on, he can steal. And he will steal counterattack. He'll steal regions. Be careful with the Scarab King. You want to make sure that if you're not doing turn meter reduction, that you have that resistance on there. And I go for 300 because that's what the hardest one's going to require. He's 250 accuracy, so I'm going to go for 300 plus. 300 is what you require here in the Ice Golem. 300 for Spiders 20. All the rest of those. Let's see. More people are dying. All right, no problem. She's surprisingly getting frozen. She shouldn't be, but she's going to get healed. It doesn't matter if she's frozen. She's still going to heal it off. All we got to make sure is they don't block heal us. That's why we've got that resistance. They don't decrease defense us. And usually they would not be able to get us with that crowd control, but it's okay. No problem. She's still going to make sure that we get this in a reasonable time. You just bring in all the people. Your hardest hitters. Don't worry about it. Just bring them in here, build her this way, and you're going to use her on so many... I just showed you 3 bosses in the Doom Tower on Doom Tower Hard. You're going to use her in Ice Golem or wherever else you want to get through. Wherever you're having difficulty. Now, in waves, it's totally different. If you're talking about waves going through the Doom Tower... Those waves all hit hard, and they hit hard back to back to back. So don't think you're going to go in there and say, hey, Stu, you told me she'd survive anywhere. She's not going to do that well on waves, or she's going to do good. She's going to do great as well as anybody would, but she's not going to get you through the waves just because she can regen some like this. Here it's different. You know, the regular dungeons like this, they don't hit that hard. The bosses don't relatively hit that hard. 14,000. We can heal that back, plus she's putting a regen on herself and shields on herself so she can heal it back easily. Same thing with Sorath the Frostbiter on 120. She can heal back all the damage done, put shields up on herself. She's not going to take those debuffs or get frozen. And Sorath the Frostbiter on 120, go watch my video. She can never die. She can't. She can't die no matter what. Same thing you go through there. If she could solo, she can solo. If we have enough rounds and you have a couple hours of full auto, she could solo the Scarab King. But she would need help getting through the waves. So whoever you bring in, it's going to make her take a longer run because sometimes she's going to revive those people on her A3. There we are. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We went in there with full-on DPS, and we got it done. It's as easy as that. Here is our Immortal and Regen set. We're getting all this healing every time, no matter what happens to her. All we need is HP and resistance on her. So HP gloves, HP chest, speed boots. We've got a resistance banner, resistance substats, more HP, everything that is HP. And you could do a 2-piece resistance instead of doing this 2-piece immortal. That would be absolutely fine. But look, we're going to get resistance from banner. We're going to get some from whatever your Great Hall's at. It doesn't necessarily need to be 80. It can be 40. That's still going to help us. We got 40, 96, and then we're going to come in here with masteries and get 50 more. Well, 60 more. We get 10 here, and then this one for each debuff up. If we wanted to, we could do 5 more for each buff up from this champion. That would actually help us out. We could go this route down here and then get the resistance over here. That would work. We could have come down this way. 5 more for each buff placed by this champion on yourself and everyone else, and then come down here to our resistance. That would work to get us more, and then all these just increase our shields and then give us a chance to do a 3-turn on those buffs instead of a 2-turn. Grush and Veteran that you saw in the video where we 2-man the Scarab King, I just have the same gear. I used the same exact gear on Veteran the first time around, and then I switched it over to Grush because you might not have that rare void. But you will get this epic champion as a login reward. So we put the Destroy set on. We've got a 2-piece resistance set, defense, speed boots. We've got an accuracy banner, but you know what? You don't need, and you definitely don't need critical damage. You do not need accuracy. You can just go full on resist. Get to the same 300 resistance, and you'll be fine. Go with that resistance banner. I went both way, but I think this is very gear intense. If you want a 2-man for 25 minutes, whatever we did it with, you don't need to. You really don't need to. We don't even have a high crit rate. I just slapped the gear on, and then I went over here, changed some masteries around to give us more resistance. He does do those regions, right? He never died. Remember, those two never died. When we had Veteran on there, he would die quite often. Veteran would when we were two-manning it, and she would bring him back. But it's not a big deal. She was bringing back our Drexstar Bloods when we were fighting Sorath the Frostbiter nonstop because Drexstar was getting hit and he was applying the burns. We beat it on stage 120 hard. Go check out that video if you don't know about beating Sorath the Frostbiter in a very easy fashion without much accuracy. Go check that out. But it's all because of this girl. It's all because of her. She can stay alive, never die, bring everybody back, heal everybody, and shield everyone. I think she is an amazing champion. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all on a video soon.